Okay, I'm just going to do a really quick recap. Hey guys, here we are. We're doing Facebook campaigns and let's do it. I forgot to hit the record button, so I just had to rewind a little bit. We're in Facebook campaigns, Command Expand. Here we go. If you're advertising a listing, you're going to want to use a social ad. If you want to advertise homes for sale in a particular neighborhood, before we went live and before we hit record, I dropped a link in the description. So check the description for another strategy on how to run ads to advertise homes for sale in a particular neighborhood. But today we're going to do just a regular listing ad for a single property listing. If you don't have listings, then ask someone in your market center who does, if you can advertise their listings when they come up, and you can just throw them up on Facebook for them. Ask them if you can do that. Most people will say yes. You're helping them out. They're helping you out. Everybody wins. So social ad paid, and we're going to just give it a name. I'm just going to choose a listing from my website that I think is super cute. And we're going to pretend for example purposes that it's my listing. It is not my listing. However, it is a listing in my market center, but it is not my listing. So I either have gotten permission from this person, or it is mine in order to run it. Okay. So I'm just going to give it a campaign name of the address, and we're going to advertise this on Facebook, and we're going to advertise this on Instagram. All right. Then I'm going to create the campaign. Oh, you got to give it a goal. So I'm going to use it to attract buyers and create the campaign. And if there are any questions as I'm going on, Leslie, definitely interrupt me and let me know.
Sounds good.
Here's what we're going to do now. This is kind of cool. If you've never created a campaign before, this is a cool feature. You don't have to upload anything. You don't have to think of a description if you're running a Facebook ad about a listing. You don't have to do any of those things because KW gives you all of that information from within the system. So I'm going to click add listing, and I'm going to search by property address. And then I'm going to search. Oops, I got to look up all listings. And here is the listing. Okay. So I'm going to select it. And then what happens here is it brings in the description from the MLS, and you really don't have to think of much to say. Now, if the person who's listing the property isn't very good at copy, then you may want to, customize a little bit and edit it. But this looks pretty good. Beautiful Brookdale home, gorgeous wide plank stained oak wood floors are featured throughout the first floor and provide the perfect warm base for the living room and open eat-in kitchen. I'm going to actually add a headline, and I'm going to put an emoji in there of a house. And I'm going to throw that emoji up here. Just listed, and drop another emoji. And then I'm going to say, click for more. All right. And then I'm going to do another little emoji with a thumbs up. Okay. So I didn't have to come up with any ad copy because the person who wrote this for the MLS is a pretty good writer. I just edited it a little bit to give it some pizzazz, some flair, and it looks good. So just a quick description and then a call to action. Click for more. Now the headline, I'm just going to grab the just listed, and I'm going to copy it and drop it right here. And the headline shows up on this part of the ad underneath the ad on the left-hand side. And then the description should be very, very short. I'm just going to say, click for more photos and price. All right. And you can see over here, the description and the headline show up on the bottom left-hand side of the ad. My description and copy for the whole ad is at the top. And I'm going to save that. Any questions up to this point, Leslie?
Nope, we've got them answered, Nick. We're doing good.
Oh, sweet. Good job.
Thanks.
Then I'm going to go to Facebook and Instagram settings. Oh, wait a minute. Nope. Sorry. I'm not going to go there next. I'm going to go to media and click configure. This is where the fun kind of starts. I'm also going to show you guys something. You know what? Let me show you something else fun that you can do. After I bring in these photos, I'm going to click add more, and then all of the photos pop up. Okay. But first I want to edit this. I want to crop this first image. Okay. Then I'm going to add more. All these awesome photos show up. Let's do a little bit of the front porch, and then we'll crop it a little bit. Then we'll do the kitchen. Then we'll crop that a little bit. And let's do the bathroom. Now, this is kind of another strategy that I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to go into command on another browser, and I'm going to go to designs. And I'm going to create a design, and I'm going to create a social media design. And let me grab the address from my website. Then I'm going to import photos and text from a listing and click continue. I'm going to search for that address. Whoops, let me back up here. Go back into designs. Here we go. Create design, social, continue. And what I want to do here is I want to create a really beautiful looking image for the listing, for the ad, for the first image. So I'm going to go to listings. I'm going to go to for sale. And let's do social square. And then we can find one that looks nice. Let's do here. Let's do this one. I like that one. Okay, so I have this image that I'm going to customize for my ad. So I'm going to click on KWLS over here on the left-hand side. I'm going to search for that listing under address. Okay, here it is. I'm going to select it. Then all the photos pop up. Now I want to replace this image here on the template. So I click that image and then go over to the image that I want to use and replace it. Just like this. If I double click it, I can move it a little bit. And let's replace my logo. And let's replace the address of the property under listing details. Okay, so this is the image that I want to use. So I'll save it and give it a name. Save and click done. Perfect. Now what I'm going to do is go back over to campaigns. I'm going to have to click add more. Then I'm going to add images. Then I'm going to browse the design library. And here's that image I just created. So I'm going to bring that in. Just give that a second to pull it in from designs. Perfect. Looks nice. Now I'm going to move it over here. So you can see this is the first image that people are going to see. So it really does pop. Like it's boom in your face. It looks pretty. It looks professional, and it's different, right? So that's a strategy. You want to try to stop the scroll. So I want to change this image, and let's just do like the living room. And then I'm going to rearrange this a little bit. There we go. All right. Here's my ad. You know what? I'm going to take this one out. All right. So I got 4 images, and it starts off really nicely with this beautiful design that I made within Designs. Okay. Now I'm going to save that. Any questions up to that point?
Yes, I have a couple questions that I promised 2 people that we would cover, Nick. And so let me grab them first. First one is, how good are leads from these types of ads? What conversion rate should we expect? So how do I know when I have a winner versus when I need to make changes?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I'm going to show you a strategy when we do our targeting to help you get in front of people who are going to be a little bit more ready. So with Facebook ads, Facebook leads, they're typically a little bit further out in the buying process. And there's really only a 1.5 to 2% conversion rate with Facebook leads. But like, think of it this way. If you ran an ad for $100 and you generated like 40 leads and you were able to convert and close one of them, you only spent $100.
Exactly. It's so amazing.
Now, I don't know about you, but my average commission in New Jersey is about, I don't know. Let's see. My average commission in New Jersey is about, it's about $13,000. So I'll take it.
Yeah.
Any day of the week. And I'm going to go out on a whim here and assume that everybody's average commission is more than $100. I'm just going to go out and assume that.
Yeah.
And if it's not, you're in the wrong market.
Right? No kidding. Nick.
So you got to look at it that way. And by the way, you look at it this way. If you invested $100 a month into Facebook and you were able to close one deal a month for 12 months from your Facebook ads for 12 deals, here in Michigan, where I live, I'm licensed in New Jersey because that's where I'm from. But in Michigan, my average commission was $7,500. That'd be an extra $90,000. And I only spent $1,200 for the whole year. It's a wise investment, and you can't expect to close hundreds. You can expect to close dozens. You know what I mean? But you got to have the follow-up too. You got to be diligent because these people can be a little further out in the pipeline. So you got to hold their hand and you got to stick with them,
Absolutely. All right. Next question. I think this is a good one because this is really going to benefit all. Are there benefits of doing this ad creation in Command versus directly in Facebook?
Yeah. Why don't you explain that
Yeah,
one, Leslie?
definitely. Absolutely. So we have Keller Williams and Facebook, they have an exclusive partnership. And so what they've done is they've created an algorithm inside Facebook, inside Command, to focus on the real estate lead for you. And so what we do with Facebook every month is meet with them, make sure that the algorithm is optimizing your ad set more than Facebook alone. So there is a huge benefit. The whole mission is to really not for you to not have to spend too much money in order to receive leads, right? So that really is the bottom line of the partnership with Facebook. So we're trying to save you money, but gain you more leads. It's a pretty amazing partnership.
Awesome. Love it. Okay, cool. Good explanation. All right. Oh, another reason is because with Facebook, it's very hard to get a housing ad approved in Facebook because Facebook is so worried about fair housing violations because they were sued big time like several years ago. But through Command knows that Facebook knows that when someone runs an ad through Command, that it's always going to be a housing ad. So it's nine times out of 10 going to get approved, which is also another benefit. All right. Facebook and Instagram settings. This is where you want to select your business page. So it replaces the Keller Williams at the top here. If you are not connected to campaigns through command, you want to go up to your name up at the top right-hand corner, click settings and connect Facebook Ads Manager. And it's just a few clicks. It's very simple to do. All right. Now what we want to do is we want to make sure that our ad is going to show on Instagram in the feed. You do not need to have an Instagram account in order to run an Instagram ad through command. It creates like a kind of a fake one based on your Facebook business page. You do have to have a Facebook business page, though. I'll give you that. Also, you want to make sure that you've selected Facebook lead generation form. That's how you're going to generate full name, full address, full email address, and full phone numbers. And then here we're going to put the address, the web address for our listing. So I'm going to grab the listing from my KW website. You don't have to use a KW website. You can use, another website. If you have Playster or whatever it is, you can use that. But I'm using this and I'm going to plop it right here. That way, when they click learn more, they get taken to a Facebook lead gen form. They approve their information and I get the lead and they get to see the listing. All right. Then we want to come down here to audience. And this is where we're going to be able to define our audience. Okay. So this house is located in Bloomfield, New Jersey. However, I don't want to target Bloomfield, New Jersey. I want to target New York City because that's where my buyers for Bloomfield, New Jersey will be coming from. Then I want to go as narrow as 15 miles because I want to stay as close to New York City as possible to really target that area and the 5 boroughs. Okay, so you can go as narrow as 15 miles or as wide as 50 miles, 50. Now we're going to go to, oh, you know what? I'm going to have to do this. Now we're going to go to create a custom audience. And this is going to allow us to get in front of people that we want to get in front of. This is where I'm going to show you some strategy. All right. So I'm adding interests. And I'm just going to, you guys can take notes on these. These are the interests that I use pretty much regularly. And if there's any questions, Leslie, feel free to, because I can't type and talk at the same time.
Oh, I know. There are so many, Nick. So I'm just trying to keep up. We'll keep you posted if we need to pause to answer some live.
All right. I'm going to use condominium. I'm using commuting because this area that I'm advertising in is a commuter town. Let's see. Loan is a good one to use. FHA loan. You can do home equity loan. That might get you in front of. Here's some possible seller targets. Private equity, no, home equity line of credit. Could do first time buyer. For sale by owner. Finance is a good one because it gets you in front of slightly higher net worth individuals. Okay. So here are some that I have right now. All right. Now you have to realize that these interests are one or the other. You're not going to get in front of somebody who has an interest in all of them because there's like 15 or 17 here. You're not going to get in front of somebody who has an interest in all of them. But here's the strategy, guys. This is going to help you get in front of people who are slightly more ready to potentially conduct a real estate transaction. You're going to go to narrow audience. And then you're going to type in Zillow, and realtor.com. Okay, so now what is happening here is while at the top, these interests are one or the other, where it's like real estate investing or mortgage loans or mortgage calculator. Now you have Zillow and realtor.com, which is and. So you have people who are interested in real estate investing and Zillow and realtor.com, mortgage loans and Zillow and realtor.com. So you're matching one from up here with these two down here. Then what I can also do is down here, narrow audience, and put first time buyer again. So narrow it again. So what's happening here is I'm in front of people who are interested in single family detached homes. They're interested in Zillow and realtor.com, and they're also first time buyers. So now I'm matching one from up here with these two in the middle and this one down here. So that's going to help you get in front of people in a much more granular way. And the success I've had from this strategy is much greater. You're going to get fewer leads, but that's because there's less people who have interests like that. You're getting very granular with your targeting. And it's almost like you're going to start to have better conversations. You're going to be in front of people who have these interests, these 4 interests that are matched together. So we have found it works a lot better than just having these at the top. So my target was New York and it was 15-mile radius. Okay. So any questions on that? I'm sure there are.
Oh, there's always questions about interest, Nick. There's questions like, is there a possibility that we can add too many interests and not get great results?
No. So there, you can't add too many, but this is a great way to do it. I usually add 15 to 17 at the top. Then I narrow it with Zillow and Realtor, then narrow it again with first time buyer or for sale by owner if you want to get in front of maybe some sellers. There's really no wrong way to do this. It's just this makes sense as a target interest. People who are interested in condominiums who look on Zillow and realtor.com and are first time buyers. That's a very good combination of interests.
I think also, Nick, just to add what you're saying is just make it simple. Think about the person you want to capture, whether that's a buyer or seller, right? What does your ad copy say? Because if your ad copy says one thing, but your interests and your targeted interests are targeting somebody else, then you may not get great results. So it's really about copying everything, making the whole ad copy and ad creation cohesive with messaging and interests. Does that make sense? Hope it does.
Yeah, that's a good one. It's a very good piece of advice. Okay. Now we're going to create our tags. Now I have some tags already that are saved. Facebook lead. I have Bloomfield. So basically, if you don't have, if you don't have a tag, let's say you're going to use the tag 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You would type in the tag, create new, give it a color, click add. There's your tag. Okay. So you have to create the tag first. So I have Facebook lead. That's where they came from. That's the source. So a tag for the source is a good option. And the town in which the advertisement was advertising. So a house in Bloomfield, New Jersey. So the location of the property and the source of the lead. Those are two very good tags. So like when a lead comes in for this campaign, it's going to automatically get tagged with those two. Okay. Now, if you want to get your follow-up in order and you have Twilio connected to your account and you want to use a smart plan, go into the smart plan library, search under my name for author, and download the revised town and property specific Facebook follow-up. That is this one, revised town property specific Facebook follow-up. What this will do is when a lead comes in, you'll automatically get those tags for that lead. And then the smart plan with the texting and the emails will automatically begin and start doing your follow-up for you. Maybe we'll do smart plans next week. What do you think? Yeah, maybe we'll do
I think
smart
so.
plans
Just
next
because
week.
people, I think there's going to also be just a lot of questions around conversion. What does that look like? And tonality of, how you speak to the leads and things like that, because you can capture leads all day long, Nick, and not really work them and not get those, that return on investment back. Right. So let's do smart plans next week. I think it'd be great.
Agree.
There's been a few questions, Nick, in the chat here in Zoom. Have you shared, or is there a place that everyone can grab your interests that you create for your ads? Is there kind of like a one pager that we could send them, or maybe we could send it on?
No, there isn't. So just take a screenshot of this.
Yeah. Ready? Everybody
just take a
screenshot.
Yeah. Just take a picture. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Cool.
Take a picture.
Thanks for doing that.
Everyone get the picture? Everyone, did you get the pic? Do you get the picture?
Did you get the picture? Joy asks, my listings have been selling within a couple of days. What is the best practice around advertising just listed when things are selling so quickly?
Oh, that's awesome. So I usually say if a listing goes pending and I'm still running an ad for it, I go, I'm like, that property just went pending the other day. Just went pending. This market is going very quickly and houses are selling before we can even run campaigns for them. Is this the type of home that you're interested in? Yeah, it is. I like the blah, 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 blah. Great. How about I personally send you some other properties that have just hit the market that are similar to this in a similar location, and we get together in the next day or two and talk about your needs and maybe go see some of these. I mean, that's just basically what you got to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And I also want to just share with the group, logistically, that URL that we're sharing inside this ad creator is live. So when they do click, and let's just pretend this scenario does actually happen, your home is under contract. When they click to learn more and that Facebook form pops up, they're going to be sent to your site in this example, and it's going to show that that home is under contract. So the MLSs are synced to all of the sites, which is synced to, all the MLSs are synced to your site, and it's live. Live information will always be placed there. So they're never going to be sent to a dead link, if you will, if you follow these instructions.
Cool. All right. Now we're going to go to duration and budget. Now, if you're running a campaign for a single property like this, you're not going to want to run it for very long because, like that one person just mentioned, it may sell quickly. So I would say run it for 5 days. So you can click the calendar button here and back it up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Okay, 5 days. And I usually say do at least $50. $50 for 5 days. And down here, it's, in the beginning, we said we were running on Instagram and Facebook. So this is saying that it's going to run daily per channel $5, so a total of 10. But we don't want to click distribute evenly across channels. We want to use automatic placement for Facebook and Instagram. And the reason is, this is the best explanation, Facebook uses their algorithm to intelligently spend your money based on audience and performance. So when I click this button on the lower left-hand side, use automatic placements, it then will say Facebook daily, $5, Instagram, daily, $5, but it's dynamic. What that means is if for some reason my ad is not performing well enough on Instagram, Facebook will then take that $5 that's allocated to Instagram and move it over to Facebook and vice versa. So our money gets spent in the best possible way, which is what we want. So I'm running this for 5 days. I dropped that link in the chat a long time ago at the beginning of this class for the other strategy, advertising homes for sale in a particular neighborhood. That type of ad you're going to want to run for slightly longer, like 2 weeks or so. And if you are just jumping onto the Zoom, the link will be posted in the description on YouTube for that tutorial that I'm talking about. So you can catch it there when I email it out to everybody. And that will help. That type of ad, advertising homes for sale in a particular neighborhood, is something that you're going to want to advertise for a slightly longer period of time. Whereas if it's a single property, you're going to want to only run this for 5 days tops, 5 days tops, for about $50 minimum, $50 minimum.
Hey, Nick, because you just mentioned that, we had a couple people ask around the price point of your minimum. So why $50 be the minimum? If somebody said they're using $25, why 50?
Hey, can you explain that, Leslie? Just because my kids just walked in the door.
Yeah, sure. I know how that goes. So basically $50 is going to allocate a higher dollar amount per channel, which means that the more money that we place per channel, it's going to optimize your ad set even more. So $25, depending on the length, it will show you the daily allotted amount. So do you see Nick's screen right here? It says up to $5. $5, around $4 to $5 per channel is a pretty good way to determine if it's going to be optimized enough. So if you're spending $25 in, a shorter amount of period of time, and that daily amount is at $5, then you still could get great optimization. Where we tend to see lower results is below $4 a channel or $5 a channel. And that's just because Nick and I have seen and are creating ads for people over a period of time, and I've seen the results. And so that's kind of where we're coming from. That's why we're suggesting it.
So guys, we appreciate you being on the call. And if you guys need any sort of help with Facebook lead generation, we would highly recommend that you text us. So text me at 248-870-3007 and text the code CYC. And we can help you with your Facebook advertising. If it's something that you want help with, we have different programs and plans for all different types of occasions. So just text the code CYC for Command Your Conversion to 248-870-3007. If you'd like to chat with us about our consulting and coaching around Facebook lead generation and how we can help you. If you feel like you're overwhelmed, we can definitely point you in the right direction. So shoot me a text. Text CYC to 248-870-3007, and we'd love to chat with you. Otherwise, thanks for being on the call. And Leslie, any parting words?
Have an amazing weekend and go create an ad, everyone.
Yeah, go make some money next week. Next Friday, we'll do smart plans to help you with your follow-up. So make sure you're here for that. All right.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everybody. See you soon.